Alright, this is just a quick trade review of a trade that occurred on the 2nd of July. A nice expansion, continuation higher to new all-time highs. If we look at the bigger picture on the weekly, we just like 2 weeks ago had a bit of a rejection looking candle at all-time highs and then dips down into the weekly BISI the previous week. That was below daily equal lows. So zoom into here on the 4 hour, you can see these smooth lows over here, and yeah, last week we dipped into there, taking them out and then trading up higher from there. At the same time, we did have SMT here with ES, so ES failed to take those lows, made a higher low. So that was the first clue that we might be making a longer term low. Then yeah, traded high all week. We engineered a very nice pool of liquidity here. And then on Friday, dumps down, closing the week with relative equal lows. Then when on Monday we dipped into there, that was just a really nice opportunity to go long, as we could pair a nice imbalance up with this beautiful pool, and then we traded up and had a shift in market structure here. So then this is Tuesday here. So on Monday, if I zoom in a bit more, so Monday drops down, makes relative equal lows, drops into that, below that previous day low, into that gap we had over here, hitting some nice PD arrays, and then displacing higher through this high. What I was watching on Monday was actually this fair value gap up here with these relative equal highs, and basically that's the PM high right there. We just tapped it, but we actually fell short of this fair value gap. So when coming into Tuesday, already I was kind of looking at this high as a very suspect high and looking for longs. So even if we were to go lower, I still wanted to see us trade up to here at a very minimum. So that really framed a nice setup and a reason to go long. For news catalysts on this day, we had 8:55. We had a Fed speaker. 9:30. Powell was speaking, so that was a really nice driver to have early on in the day. And we had a red folder at 10 as well. So yeah, we had some nice drivers and a good reason to go higher as well. We are at all-time highs with with some nice SMT as well. And if we look at once again at compare it over ES, we can see that when Monday took out the previous day low, ES actually took out the previous week low. So we have moved that out of the way. We have some nice SMT here with ES. So that's some really significant SMT for me. And that combined with the shift to market structure and then a nice consolidation at a premium before dropping into a discount, it's framing a nice long. So we, as far as sentiment goes, this is something that I really like to look for. Is when we do have, if we have had a big rally, for example, right here, we're at all-time highs, never been up here before, we've just had a huge leg higher, and then we get this candle here. So we get a huge wick and a big rejection closing on a Friday at the low, near the low of the week. And I just like to think of that as them trying to create sentiments that maybe this is the top and we're going low. And whenever I see that on any time frame, depending on the narrative, my first instinct is to just fade it pretty much. So yeah, when I saw that, I was definitely interested in looking for more longs. Initially, I was thinking we might come down this week and take out the previous week low and then go higher. But as you can see, ES taking out the previous week low created that SMT, and that was good enough. So jumping down here, this is the trade. The trade occurred around 9 a.m. So around here. And what I was looking at in the morning is how we had dropped down into a discount of this range. So if we drag out equilibrium, we dropped down. London had made its low around the 50% point and consolidated a bit. I'll drop down into the 15-minute chart. So that's the London low right there. As you see, we make a low at equilibrium, consolidates until 7 a.m. At 7, we displace through the low into a discount of the range. And hitting I'd assume this would be a propulsion block. That's what let's change that. I'd see it as a propulsion block, as this candle here would be the order block that took out sell side, displaced higher, and then this candle here is the one that opened and then dug into it and traded off it. So that's the only real PD array I can see here, as like even on a lower time frame, it does look kind of balanced here. We do just go a tick below this short-term low, but other than that, there weren't really any inefficiencies I could see. But what gave me confidence in this is really just the fact that the time that it occurred, and also we had some really nice SMT at that time as well. So ES had taken out the previous day low at the exact same time, and this occurred during the 7:50 macro. So it's a really key time of day for it to happen. Also on the higher time frame, obviously I said we had this as a really good reason to go high with the previous day high made equal highs with the PM high and fell short of the fair value gap. Obviously I said that my high time frame bias was still bullish, and if we go to the 1 hour here, one other thing I was really looking at is how, if we go to the regular trading hours chart, so this is the all-time high up here. I'll just mark that out so we can see it. Hold up, let's change that color. So all-time highs up there, and if we go to the regular trading hours, which looks a bit funny because of a candle colors, but yeah, we had like relative equal highs left on the regular trading hour chart, and then Friday came up and just tapped a tick above them, but it left the same kind of thing, like still equal highs. So if anything, that just creates even more reason to go straight up. And then if we go over back to electronic loads, there we go. And I go to ES. ES also had some smooth highs up here, so there's plenty of reason to go up. YM, a bit messy really. Like I like trading YM, but it's not really getting my high time frame bias off of it. So if we drop down to a much lower time frame, go to 5 minutes, see what we had in here. Might actually replay to here just so that we don't have to click back and forwards. Yeah, so smooth highs left along here as well in the consolidation. We have this small fair value gap left here, and you can see that on the 1 minute as well, which I'll drop down to now. Yep. So yeah, really smooth highs left through this consolidation. I really liked this gap because when we had this market structure shift here, and then we left a really nice small gap here. So that was a high probability would at least reach up to there, although I also had that higher time frame 15 minutes fair value gap that I was looking for up here. So plenty of upside targets. We had our turning point was at 753, so that's right at the start of the 750 macro, which is a very high probability time for a turning point. We have a nicely painted in range, like this is all balanced down here with buy side and sell side delivery on both sides, and then we had a displacement through this short-term high. So that's our market structure shift that I was watching, and I really liked how we had made that shift and then left a really nice gap in here above this order block. So when we then displaced higher up to a premium of this range, to premium, if you wanted to be short, you wouldn't really want to see it come all the way up here. So yeah, like that. We then had 830, so I'll mark that out. 830 opens up here and immediately just drops in for a discount. So this is the high time frame dealing range right here, but I'll mark out this smaller one. So yeah, consolidates a wee bit, drops down a bit. Plenty of time for people to get short. So I like to see that when we have a displacement and then a consolidation at a discount of that range. So just looking at this really small range here. And then we have the same thing here. It just drops down and just stays at a deep discount for a while, tapping into the 50% as well. So this was my POI. A very nice looking volume imbalance there as well, actually. But yeah, drop into there. We have a small rally and then come straight back down for that low. So when I saw this, I looked across at ES and I saw that ES was doing something similar but had failed to take out its low. So we had a much lower time frame SMT here. And it was also occurring at a very key time of day. So the 850 macro. This is 850 right here. 850 to 910. And we have really nice SMT just here. And then on an even lower time frame, we have another SMT at this as this candle creates a CSD at 853, another key time, and displaces higher. So as soon as I saw this larger SMT right here, in combination with the SMT with the previous day low here, I was in my point of interest with my buy side targets. I was really interested in long, so I slept on a long right around about here with a stop loss below this wick. I was comfortable with it not coming down here, as we obviously had a lot of buy side and sell side delivery within this range shift. We painted up and down with this wick, and then this whole range in here is all balanced. So there was no reason for us to come below the swing low. So I was very comfortable just putting on a position there, and with the stop loss below here. I then also found one more entry that I kind of liked. I'm still working on getting better at mitigation blocks, but what I was watching was this mitigation block over here, and how we'd come up above it. Then we'd come down, we created a short-term low, an intermediate-term low, shifted, and then I'd expect this short-term low to hold inside of this mitigation block. So I put on another position on this candle as we dropped into the fair value gap, with my stop loss at the discount end of the lower fair value gap. And yeah, as you can see, she worked beautifully, straight to target, and then new all-time highs after that. So this is where I really fell short, was my execution. I got some amazing entries, and this is something that happens to me a fair bit. It's like I'll find really good entries, but then I will just partial really fast and close out the position before it's really had any time to get moving. So where I exited this particular trade, it was, yeah, it's not very good management for sure, but it's something, an area I can really improve on. So I entered the first position. I'll just use highlighter. First position, I entered around about there. When I saw the SMT, I was really happy with that, and I thought, okay, I want to put on more because it's a really good looking setup. So I looked and I found this entry up in here, so I added a bit more here. But then I decided to put a limit order pretty much right here. So I limited it out a bunch of my position here, a bunch in this high fair value gap, and then I had a limit order up here, and this was already probably 70% of my position out. And then when I saw this huge wick, I just took the rest out here. And yeah, as you can see, like, while it's kind of a nice trade, like it's a nice entry, like I was leaving a ridiculous amount on the table. Like, even if I just held for these targets, that would have still been twice the reward. And that should have really been my low hanging fruit, and that was my ultimate target for the day. But yeah, so as far as trade management went, like, I'm really happy with the entries, really happy with the timing of the entries, and happy that I was able to scale in. I think I did a really good job there, but I need to get better at extending my targets, especially when I have such a clean setup with ES confirming with all the targets, like really nice targets on the higher time frames, and just a really clean setup overall. I need to always look to extend my targets. Yeah, so that's something I'm going to be working on, creating a bit more of a rigid scaling plan for scaling out of positions. So some of the things I could have targeted, if I turn on, I think this one here, not that one, this one. Yeah, so that's the Asia, that's Asia high right there. That's London high. They would have been very good targets, especially how London fell just a bit short of Asia. The more premium for value gap would have been a nice target as well, just for getting partials off, midpoint of the wick, things like that. So rather than zooming in right into the zone and take profit there, and there, I want to zoom out a bit when choosing targets. So maybe if I move up to like a 5-minute time frame at least, or higher, and then use that to kind of identify where I want to take some off. So in this case, I might have, gotten there, like I said, with a stop below that wick, and then maybe I could have made, instead of my first take profit there, and second there, third there, or whatever it was, I could say, okay, well, I'll take some off at, above this, above the swing high, just there. Then I can take my next partial at this fair value gap up in here. I then target after that, so we've got the London high, and yeah, just really extend the targets out a bit. Go back to the hourly. So there's something else I want to spot better and earlier on in the future is the market structure we actually had. So I'll jump to the 4 hour real quick just to make it nice and easy to see. So what we have here is obviously the previous week low took out this previous week low, and then we create a short-term low above it. We come down and sweep that short-term low. So that makes that a short-term low. This is a potential intermediate term low, and this would be a long-term low. And then once we get this shift right here, that confirms this as a intermediate term low, and I'm anticipating this to form a short-term low. So as soon as we get that shift, I can be anticipating a swing point to form here, like a higher time frame swing point here, and an even higher time frame swing point here. So that would have been reason to expect this low to stay intact, since we are higher time frame bullish, and if this is a intermediate term low, or even if this should stay intact, and we should send this higher from here. So that would have been reason for me to anticipate this move to actually continue moving up as it did, and instead of thinking that we might just come for internal and then go lower. So that's something I can also improve on, is just paying more attention to the high time frame structure. And yeah. So the key things I've learned from this is to really trust my trades when they set up nicely and have the confluence of SMT on all these different time frames. That's something I really need to trust, because they tend to go a lot further than I think, and I always scale out a lot earlier than I should, even if they didn't go far. So that's something I can really work on to improve. And yeah, otherwise I'm really happy with how I read price and how I was able to execute. Hold up. And also the targets I had, like, we just engineered some nice smooth highs across here, a really nice pull here, and just this point of interest up here, this unfilled 15-minute fair value gap. It was just such an obvious draw for me, and my eye went straight to it. So I'm really happy that was a really nice target for the 9:30 open. That's about it. I'll be looking to try and do reviews for trades more often. That's just kind of the larger ones that make a lot of sense to me and I want to get better at. There are obviously intraday scalps I'm taking here and there, but I really want to really focus on the trades that line up nicely with like a high time frame and have like a lot of reason to move. So for example, another one that I could be looking at would be like this day here, like why this was a good buy, or why I could have expected this Friday to not take out this high and to have a smart money reversal up here. Just things like that I want to really implement into my trading and get better at. Because at the moment, a lot of my trades are kind of, more intraday and without so much context from the higher time frame. So yeah, really excited to do more reviews and push myself to a high level. Cool. Peace.